Today's May 2nd, 2019, and this is episode 121 of PlaneSavers. Hello folks, it is quite the dreary day. A little bit of rain, a little bit of helicopters, a little bit of Jay, a little bit of Bobby. Let's head outside right now and see what they're up to. Okay folks, let's head out to the plane and see what's going on today. Good news, it looks like we're probably getting into the hangar today, which is very cool. I'm very excited as the weather forecast isn't looking good. You know, Montreal and the Quebec area here is in the news everywhere due to its flooding, and I can see why. So hearts going out to everybody affected by the floods all over Quebec. A lot of people that we deal with are packing sandbags and stuff during the weekend. So yeah, but moving on, we got Mr. J, Mr. Bobby.
New PlaneSavers, Jack.
Oh yeah, look at the new PlaneSavers.
New issues.
New issues.
Yeah. Right, check it out, PlaneSavers.com, $19.99. Sale today.
Bobby, how's it been going?
I just got here, so I'm joining Jay in the bolt pulling contest here.
Oh, yeah, what are you guys doing right now?
Pull this panel out and check the gas tank because it's leaking in that corner. So right here.
So like I mentioned, folks, we did put some fuel in. It was looking okay, but there was a little minor leak in the back. Ronnie went in with his borescope to check it out. They're going to pull the panel, and we can see firsthand what is making that the little drop leak. It's cold. It is cold.
It's not. It wouldn't be us. It's not too cold.
It's a pretty clever trick, Jay.
This is the Binford 613 washer remover.
So Bobby?
Yeah.
Almost ready to drop the panel?
Yeah. Better get out of the way. Whenever you're ready. Whenever Jay's ready.
We got a frost fighter. That's an old friend from Yellowknife. The 2nd of May, and we're using a heater. Ronnie brought that. I didn't know if we were going to use it. Look at that. Geez, like we're in Nam.
I plugged into my camper because the other one couldn't start.
Come on, it was warm in my belly.
Sure.
Shrinkage! Just get Ronnie to...
There.
Beautiful. Okay, come hold the center, Uncle Ronnie.
Fucking, I'm freezing my goddamn fingers. It's like,
Well, here's the secret to this.
you put your tools in there. Keep them warm.
Here's the secret to this. Wear those underneath your gloves.
All I got is f***ing wet gloves right now.
So there's cases up in there.
Okay, are they ready to come down?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell me when to pull the pins.
We always have those military surplus, they call BT-400s.
Yeah. Great.
Got it? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Alright.
Oh, there's a f***ing mouse nest.
So I think you can.
Looks pretty clean in there, Ronnie.
Except for there was a mouse nest.
Oh, and before I forget, guys, there is a Facebook group. Link is down in the description for the June 6th event. So if you're planning on coming and watching us take off June 6th, hopefully if everything goes good, we got events planned up. We got helicopters all day. Very crazy. So yeah, we got a Facebook event. It's down. Just click the link. It's Facebook. Yeah, so check that out. All the information's going to be there. Updates as stuff changes. It's going to probably be a pretty big day. So hopefully we're going to have food and drinks and the whole 9 yards and a fly-in, and hopefully it'll evolve. More people, the more stuff we'll do. So check that out, and let me know if you're going to come. Mr. Bobby, what do we got going on?
Misery loves company. Here I am. So there's 3 little leaks here, these 3 bolts, but it's on the sump part. Would have been a different story. They think they can fix this part here. Would have been a different story if it was leaking up here. We would have had to drop the tank, which is way more labor intensive.
So we're looking good, Ronnie?
Yep.
You happy?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's a little bit of PRC, clean it up, and just re-PRC it, put a new gasket in the sump, and away we go.
Okay, I got a little surprise for you, Ronnie. Caddyshack on DVD.
Caddyshack. Okay, I'll stay home tonight. I won't go out.
So, folks, Ronnie's, of course, living here, and there's no satellite dish, so he's running on full DVDs. So, if there's any of the volunteers that are coming to the work site that have any spare DVDs, Ronnie watches 2 DVDs a night. So, doing pretty good. That's what. Have you seen that, Ronnie?
No, I'll watch it tonight.
It's basically like the PlaneSavers crew, basically.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so Ronnie needs DVDs. Anybody's that's coming in, no need to ship them to us, but if you're coming in, bring Ronnie some DVDs. It will really help out in the long haul. Okay, you guys, while the guys are working on fixing that little bit of a leak, which is going to be an all-morning process back in PlaneSavers Studio, Stella is working hard on emails to the volunteers. A quick pro tip. If you're emailing planesavers@gmail.com, please just don't email random YouTube links. It does take up a lot of time. Do appreciate everybody wanting to help out and everything, but we are at a huge time constraint. And I got a boatload of footage of that school, so I got a tour of one of the classrooms I really want to show you from yesterday. So check this out.
Here is the instrument room. So inside that room, we're just testing the instrument, any kind of instrument. So welcome in. Knock, knock, knock.
Come on in. Oh, we have visitors.
Oh, look at this.
Hi, guys. Today is May 1st, and this 2019. And this is episode 120 of PlaneSavers! Mikey, hi.
Oh, bonjour.
I've been watching you on TV for many years, so
Oh,
I'm
well,
glad
thank you.
to meet you. I'm very happy. My name is Roger. These are the lucky people. This is an Anglophone class.
Oh, yeah.
And this is the instrument, flight instruments and navigation instruments. And this is the lab part of the, we do 3 hours theory every week, and this is the lab portion of it. So the people will be doing their stuff, and if you want, you know, I don't have a helicopter that I can grab and bring in classes, so I don't have any outstanding feature here. I just have outstanding people and some old equipment. We'll try to do something with this. All right? Let's proceed. So if you have any questions, stop me. As I understand, the purpose is to give you a quick rundown of what's going on. You'll see it's going to be lightning fast.
Oh, yeah.
First of all, we have 8 labs here. The first one here is about calibration. You know, a lot of people say, oh, when we have torque wrenches and everything, we have to make sure it's calibrated. Well, this is how we calibrate the calibrators. So this is very special dials that use gravity and very precise weight to generate pressure, and then we verify the testing equipment. For instance, this is an hydraulic oil pressure gauge, so we can validate the actual pressure going in, not based by comparison, but by using the simple fact that the pressure equals a certain mass, if you will, divided by its surface. So we measure the pressure like that. That was lab number 1. Lab number 2. Lab number 2 is about cylinder head temperature. Now we used to have a nice mock-up here of an airplane cockpit. Unfortunately, somebody borrowed it for another demonstration, so we work with the famous and infamous ALCAL 2000 that a lot of people in aviation are familiar with. And this is the actual instrumentation that technician will be using on the flight line to verify the cylinder head temperature as well as the exhaust gas temperature. And that's it. Of course, there is a little more than that, but that's an executive summary, if you will. Over here, believe it or not, much like a chopper being brought in the class, this is a famous and infamous turn-in bank indicator that you're familiar with. A lot of people spend their life and hundreds of hours looking at this, but how many people had a chance to see the gyroscope spinning, the mechanism, and everything that makes the rate and of course, and the way to make sure that the turn is coordinated, that is, the centrifugal force and gravitational force are in balance. So basically I can spin the gyroscope if you want, and we have
We'll have a show.
Give you an idea.
Okay.
Here we go. As you can see, and I challenged the students, you see Mikey, have a look here. I said, you guys try to move this without the needle moving. Try to make it move. And the gyroscope is so precise that it's absolutely impossible to move it without the reaction of the needle. Now this is
oh wow, so this is actually how it works?
Oh yes sir, have a look at the gyroscope now, its reaction by precession, you know.
So I honestly thought that this was the most simplest instrument in the aircraft. As you can see, you just got a ball and some water. I spent many hours just staring at this thing on
yeah, get
DC-3s.
the step on the ball,
Yeah.
Mike. I'm an ex Canadian Forces search and rescue military pilot, and of course, like I mentioned, for aircraft as well as helicopter, this is quite important. You see, really in a turn and bang, there's two instruments. There's the rate gyro, which is a portion on top, and that tells you how fast you're changing the magnetic heading of the aircraft. Now, totally separated, you got the bobble in water in your right, and that only is an indication, to make it simple, that indicates the pilot if your turn is coordinated or not. Because in a turn, as you know when you take the exit on the highway and you got the coffee and you go too fast, coffee flies away. Same thing on an aircraft. So as you turn, you might be expelled out of the turn, or you could be slipping inside the turn. Now this ball being always exposed to the gravitational force, when you're in a turn, the centrifugal force is being added, and if your turn is coordinated, then the ball stays in the center. As you know, Mikey, as an old pilot that you are, I'm sure.
Look
So
at that.
but this part that you change the heading of the aircraft, look, the gyroscope reacts, and of course you know that if you line up the ball over here 3 degrees per second, it's called a rate 1 turn, and that type of turn is very well known in aviation, especially in IFR. And when we talk about a rate 1 turn, it's 3 degrees per second, and this is when the needle is right over here, all done with the gyroscope.
So this is a perfect example where mechanics and pilots meld. Like, look at this. Look at the system in the back. Like when I turn it left and I turn it right, and you can see the interaction with the needle. That's cool. That's
Yes,
very
sir.
cool.
So let's carry on, because we have 8 lab, and that's only number 3. Over here, I thought if you're, sometimes people get excited, they have emotion, go for it, Mike. If you can't take it anymore, you can weep in this, and we carry on. Now this is super spectacular, to the height of a good James Bond movie. Look here, we have an altimeter, a vertical speed indicator. We have a special seal box, if you will. There we go. And what we can do is we have vacuum, we have a vacuum pump, and as well as, somebody play with that again, we have the barometric pressure in many units, PSI. We usually work, as you know, in inches of mercury. So the barometric pressure right now is 30.4 in the box. What we do is we start the vacuum pump, and we can go up to 8, 9, 10,000 feet inside the box. We create a vacuum, That's similar to the condition you encounter at 8,000 feet. And this allows us to verify the precision, but because as we go up, we measure the barometric pressure that goes down, and we compare that to chart, and that allows us to see the accuracy of the altimeter and the vertical speed indicator. So this instrument will really go up to 10,000 feet in class. Of course, we make sure that there's no little flies or anything like that inside, because they may not enjoy the trip. Okay? That's the lab one. Now over here, we have students right now working on lab number 6 or 5 rather, which is much like the other one we did. And this bar field equipment, very much known by the world of airplane technician, we connect to, maybe you can explain a little bit what you're doing, and I hope you know what you're doing because your teacher isn't good otherwise. Go for it and be good.
Okay, well it's the static port test leak. So we're just testing.
Good, go for it.
No, it's okay. We're just testing the leakage to see if in the internal for the static port. Pretty much it.
And over there, as you can see, we have a real mock-up of an aircraft with the pitot-static instrument that is mostly airspeed indicator, altimeter, VSI, vertical speed indicator, a real pitot tube upon which we simulate once again the vacuum for the static pressure, the total pressure up front. This way you can actually be flying at 250 knots, 8,000 feet. So when the leaks are checked, this equipment will create a vacuum over here, positive pressure over there, and the instrument will actually be in the same condition as they would be in the air. A bit hard to concentrate when we're, it's like, you know, NASA Control Center. Things are happening here. So that's kind of neat because we're really testing equipment as people would do with real aircraft. This is the famous and infamous bar field known by just about every avionic technician in the world. Over here, this is the Conservateur de Cap, which is a directional gyro, and we have people here. Do you want to introduce a bit what you're doing?
Yes, I'm testing the directional gyro, and right now I putting the Vulcan inside, and I'm setting 180 right now, and it should give me a little bit drift within 5 minutes. I'm testing if it within the tolerance of the airworthiness.
So as you can see here, another gyroscopic instrument. This table at one point will start moving around in the 3 axes, yaw, pitch, and roll. We call it the bar, not the bar field, but what's the name of this funny dance again? You'll laugh, I think you'll laugh. The Scorby test. So the Scorby test moves around in yaw, pitch, and roll, and that allows us to see the drift on the instrument after a certain period of time. And you know, the directional gyro needs to be set up with the magnetic compass because it has no magnetic intelligence in itself. So we're testing that over here. Over there we have an artificial horizon that you're familiar with, I'm sure. Not too many people have seen the working mechanism inside. Now look at the gyroscope there.
Oh, wow.
Okay, this gyroscope is spinning. I'm going to unlock the pitch axis. Now, of course, everything seems fine over here. When you roll, when you pitch up and down, you can see that the gyroscope does not move. Everything turns around it. And the gimbal will demonstrate that, of course, we are pitching up or diving down over here. If I unlock because the artificial horizon shows you the pitch and roll, you see. Now this was the pitch, and here's the roll. If we roll right and left, check carefully the gyroscope itself, its rigidity in space, you know, stay in the same direction, it's stabilized. Its rotational axis is fixed, but everything around it allows us to see the angle of bank right and left. And a lot of people have seen that, especially IFR. Remember, you know, when you look at this 6 hours a day, when you sleep and you dream, what do you think you dream about? You dream about an AI, an artificial horizon, and this is how it works. Obviously, in real world, there wouldn't be any plexi box like that, but this allows the student to see inside the working mechanism. We're just about done. There's 2 labs to go. The last one being the most spectacular because it's a bit of a Hollywood one, you'll see. Hi guys, I'm going to invite the team to tell you maybe a little bit about the lab, what they do here, what this is all about, if you don't mind.
Well, we're trying to figure out how the tachometer is working throughout the way. We're comparing the input value with the shown value in the instrument. That's about it. That's as far as we got so far. We've gotten some values in and comparing the instrument error.
Yes, that's good. See, they're just about to find out because we saw in theory that we have different type of tacks. This simulates the situation. This simulates the situation where we have a twin engine. These are connected with flex cable, as we have over here, Cessna type, you know, small recreational airplane, and other type. Flex cable for those 2. Synchro transmission, that is electric transmission of positioning or RPM for those 2. And we have Mikey, the famous Tachometer Generator. Now you may not recognize this, but how about that? You've seen that before if you work with turbine. A lot of people dream about this, but they have no idea what's going on inside. There's a lot of stuff happening in there. We have a magnetic tachometer, we have the receiver of a synchro transmission system, and then we have, of course, the drag cup, or just about the same thing that makes gears move, that gives you the rotation of your turbine in percentage, of course. Because of the high-speed rotation, you don't want to see, I have 84,750, Captain, this is too long, you have time to crash. So you need 70%, 75%. This is how we work. Very small and sexy little gauge, you see. It looks like nothing, but oh my God, there's a lot of stuff in there. I see that you're excited, and I'm happy about that. Now, if you have no more questions, we're going to proceed to the last one. This one over here. Hi guys. Hi guys. Why don't I ask you? I'm usually participating with the students over here, and we do the compass swing one. You've done that for sure, Mikey. We're filling out the compass correction card of a magnetic compass on an aircraft. Now, you guys may want to just basically say, I haven't done it yet with them, but you can maybe describe a little bit what we have here and what you learned about magnetic compass so far.
So we're basically we're doing ensuring the accuracy of the compass. So we would use the compass rows and set the compass on the aircraft to different magnetic headings. And we would compare the deviations to that on the cards to determine if they're off by too much or...
Exactly. Now please note, we have a small aircraft. That's a low budget aircraft, of course. We start with this, but we got a real magnetic compass. Over here we have the option of a removable pitot tube. That was more expensive. We've got to be careful not to lose our pitot tube, right? There we go. That's the removable option. So we're going to simulate an aircraft going around, use the master compass, and I explained to them how we do the actual procedure. And you know, in the procedure, it's quite complicated and long. So what we've done, instead of remembering the pages, 4.5 pager of literature in the AC 4313, I've came up with a little song to summarize this 4.5 pages of work, and it goes like this. Full, half, 30 all around. And that was that originally, you see. We head north, do a full correction north, full correction the compass east, half correction south, half correction west, and after that we become secretary. We only read and write 30 degree all around, therefore filling up the compass correction card. But when I came up with this song, the group said, sir, there was 2 rappers in the class, and they said, you know, sir, you're full, half, 30 all around. It's not a full riff. It's like dancing and you stop 30 all around with your leg in the air. It's not complete. So, thinking about it for a while, I added a yo, you see? So if I go full, half, 30 all around, yo, they said, yeah, we buy that. And for the last 10 years, I've been teaching this. And you know, sometimes I walk in the street, people say, hey sir, you were my instrument teacher. I work for Air, everything in the world. And we still do full, half, 30 all around yield. And I'm very proud of that. No trademark. That's it, my friend.
Oh my Lord, John.
Not too much information, eh?
That was about 20 minutes. I don't even know how I'm going to edit that, but that was fun, man. Oh, what an energetic class.
You know that course is for the training and the mechanic guys.
Oh.
So we're teaching the instrument, the basic instrumentation, but the navigation instrumentation will be taught by the AvGeeks guys, like Fred.
Ooh. Okay, huge thank you to John and the class. Oh my God, was that energetic. And that was a perfect example of why I didn't want to cut too much of that out. That was one take, folks, all of that in one take. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Sorry, I tried my best to fix the sound. There was a lot of humming and stuff, so I do apologize if that hurts your ears a bit, but that was real life. That was what the class set up for me, so I wanted to show you guys that in its entirety. Now I got some spring cleaning to do, and that's why I'm back here in the parts part. The eBay purchase, this the Dakota 1, 2, and 3, and 4 manual. The winner of this was Frank in France. So the UPS store just called me. We got to pick up 2 boxes. So Stella and I are leaving also to pick up lunch because it's not even lunchtime yet. But I got a special surprise for Frank for actually, you know, I'm a little late sending this out. So what I did was Ronnie cut off a piece of the aileron here. And so I'm making Frank a custom bookmark. A custom fabricated bookmark. I'm gonna write PlaneSavers on the back and get everybody to sign it. And super thank you for Frank for picking this up on eBay. And hopefully you like the little extra I added for you. And Stella, I'll sign this up.
Oh, I'm getting old. What do you want me to sign it?
Anywhere.
Anywhere. I don't want to wreck you up. Just down here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, who's getting this?
Frank in France.
Hi Frank. I can't write Stella in French. That's me.
Hi Frank, and there's me. So there you go. So Stella and I are off to the UPS store. Get that off to you, and when we get back, man, this is gonna be a long episode. When we get back, we're gonna do an update on the tank and see how everything went, and continue on from there. Okay, the final update of the day, folks. We got Ronnie on the right-hand engine, Jay on the left-hand engine, and Bobby. Bobby, what's happening?
Look at these brake lines, fitting totally corroded. So we're undoing the access panels here so we can change the brake lines and get ready for the lubricate everything for the gear swing tomorrow or maybe Saturday, Sunday.
There we go, folks. Good news, gear swing. Everything's going good in there, Ronnie?
Yeah, we're just changing the lines on the wheel. Put all new lines on the wheel, both sides.
Cool.
It'll be good.
Caddyshack tonight?
Yeah, I'll stay home tonight.
And Jay, any final words for the folks at home?
Throwback Thursday, we're gonna call it.
Throwback Thursday today?
Throwback Thursday. All the lines are done in here, just tighten it up. Tighten up the clamps on the oil tank and we'll put some oil in it.
Do you want to say our special guest that's coming in on Saturday morning?
Special guest Saturday morning, my son Dustin is coming to help us out. Which will be a big surprise and a big thanks. Looking forward to it.
Right on. Cool. So that's it, folks. Ronnie, you want to say everybody goodbye?
Yeah, goodbye everybody. See you here.